Hey y'all, I'm getting ready to, we have our mud from, this is dry from our stamps, this is dry from our stencils. It's pretty rough because we just slapped the mud on there pretty thick to get this design. But today, so that this doesn't stick out like a sore thumb when we get the next coat of watered down paint on here, we're gonna go ahead and add a little more texture. A couple of things that I did since the last video was come back and add a few more pieces. I just thought it needed more. So hopefully it's not too overdone now. But what we're gonna do today is just come back with what I have is actually some of my husband's concrete finishing tools. The little bit of rust on here isn't gonna hurt anything. I don't have one that doesn't have a kind of a ribbed finish on the sides of it. This one has less design than this one does, so we're going to go with this one, but I'm going to try to use this flat surface and not these edges when I'm pulling down to get the texture on here, because I'm not really wanting that kind of texture and wanting it to look like it was old and a lot of it has worn off. I'm just using the same disposable paint tray that I had here already. And this is just called Joint Compound. It's called Mud in the Industry. It's for this is Sheetrock brand. And it's pre-mixed, but you can buy it in a powder that'll dry a lot faster. This one dries in about 24 hours. And since I'm only going to doing a little bit at a time on this, that's perfectly fine. So now I have this in here, and what I'm going to do is get some on the bottom of my, by just digging down in it this way, on the bottom of my trowel. I'm going to knock the extra off on this part of the, I can't think of what words are. This is menopause brain, y'all. I am so sorry. I'm going to blame it on that. I've been through menopause a long time ago. But anyways, get some more all over it. I'm going to rub off the excess in this rolling pan. I'm not trying to get it all off of there and get it flat. Just get it down to a reasonable amount. Just ever so often, I'm going to come here, smash it in, pull it out, smash it in, pull it out, and I'm like sort of just offloading some on here until it's mostly offloaded off of there. So it's just a random pattern, but then we're going to come back. It's making some of the rust come off of this on there, but we're going to be painting this anyway, so that is just fine. So do you see how I'm just pulling down straight and flat with this and spreading out what was there? So it's thicker here, thinner there, splattered here, non-existent here, and all of that. Once we paint over it and you're not able to see the difference in all of these colors, we'll just add texture. I love it, and that's exactly how I want it, because it's random and there's no anything to it that I'm going to have to match or not match later. We can go over some of this a little bit. I'm going to wait till it doesn't have as much on there. Up to some of this, we'll do that as we get closer to those. But other than that, we're just trying to get this on a lot of the wall here. There, can you see that I went over that a little bit? There's not much left on there this time, but there's a little. I'm just at this point going to grab some and put it on this way because I'm impatient. I'm not trying to cover the whole thing, and I do want it thicker in some areas than others, but I can be random and faster doing it this way than I can dipping it down in there and moving it. Once we get all this on here, and then next time I come in, we're going to work at diluting this same background paint color. I'm going to start out with 50-50, and I may even end up with 25 paint, 75 water, because I do want it to be more like a glaze, but I want this not to show through as white anymore, but I do want some of this brown glaze that we use the Van Dyke Brown to show through. So that's the amount of translucency that we're going to go for. Probably these ones right here are going to be the focal point of the wall that's going to show up more behind the furniture that we place on there and things. So I'm going to place a whole lot more emphasis worrying about whether the ones in this area look the best than I will in the ones in the other areas. And that's taking away part of that decoration and making it look like it was aged more. And more of these next coats happen afterward. I like that a lot better. Very happy with it. Okay, I appreciate you joining me, and I'm just gonna work in the same exact manner I've worked here, finish out this wall, clean up for the day, and see you next week to do the next thing on here. Thanks, bye.